So welcome to round 4 of the Apex eSL V8 Supercars Championship. Tonight we're heading to Road America. So last week we saw the drivers at Long Beach Street Circuit. So same session details, so if you're a regular watcher you'll recognise it. We head off for a 15-minute practice. Drivers will experience weather of medium cloud, qualifying for 15 minutes with weather medium cloud to clear. Then we head off into the sprint race for 10 laps, so weather is clear for the drivers and there's no mandatory pit. Then we'll have a short break in between that as we head off into session 2. So they'll go off for another qualifying session for 15 minutes, weather's light cloud. And then the main race is 17 laps with weather clear to light cloud with a mandatory pit. So currently leading the championship we have Sweat Ridge 3103 leading with 271 points, and Gallon 350 not too far behind with 247 points, and also Rooney 9915 sitting third with 234 points, so very close at the top. So last week at Long Beach Street Circuit for the first race we saw As a Ninja take pole position and the first race. We had T-Rex set the fastest lap of the race for that one, and then we've also had for the main race As a Ninja taking another pole and also the win for the race as well, but it was Rooney that took the fastest lap, so T-Rex coming in with second there. So it'll be very interesting to see how the drivers go tonight. It is smaller points for the first race of the session, and then the second race is double points, and the drivers do also get points for qualifying position, so very important that they end up landing a nice position for qualifying. So heading over into pit lane now. I'll get up some details. He heads out, drivers just getting their setups ready. A fair few drivers still yet to head out from pit lane. The Corby 387 is a new addition to the series at the moment, so it'll be interesting to see how he performs tonight at Road America. So we do have a full grid as well with some backup drivers as well. One driver having some issues getting connected to it just earlier, so we were a little bit delayed getting the broadcast started. When you join us for the broadcast, be sure to get on the chat and send a message. A bit of lag there being experienced by Corby 387. Cars dancing about the track there. Someone's just off shot there. Rooney 9915 misjudging that corner. Issues again. Didn't appear to take any damage, so not worth bringing the car back into the pits. Yep, definitely there's a few in the race tonight with some reserve drivers as well, so very popular series to get into. Oh, someone has disconnected. Trying to see who that may have been. So while you're watching the stream, it should be on the app and on also the website as well. We do have some panels down below that you can control some audio over the stream, so you can cheer and boo any of the drivers that are up there. Whatever is your favourite, you can cheer them on throughout the race. Going broad there by Aussie, just collecting that tyre wall there. some significant damage, bringing it back in to get back out and do another lap of practice. So first lap's been set, 2:28.9 by Angry Old Fella. Some race speed's giving a fair few drivers exceeding track limits, so time is being invalidated. Drivers struggling to keep within the limits of the track at the moment. So game session time is 9 o'clock with light clouds, so track temperatures are slightly low. Driver following Angry, which I believe is Sweatridge, sporting some rear damage there already. He's probably brought that back into the pits and then head back out, so it's probably residual visual damage just from the game. Ooh, contact there against the all-way Sweatridge. Really struggling with the car at the moment. Not opting to bring the car in, so he may be trying to just get some heat in the tyres and maybe head back in to get some repairs rather than just returning to the pit box automatically. So he is our series leader at the moment, tonight being the 4th round. And then we have the final round next week, Thursday, being at Bathurst Mount Panorama, so it will be quite an exciting race for that one next week. So over to Terex. So Terex has been performing great throughout the series. So he's standing 5th on the series championship ladder. I think he did join in only in round 2, so performing very strong. Yes, yeah, Bathurst is my favourite track to drive on. Done many a lap around Bathurst. It's Rennie 9915 now setting a 2:05. So warm lap starting to come in, so it's looking pretty close around the 2:05, 2:06. Probably expect to see probably some 2:03s in the qualifying. All running wide there by Rennie through the Kitalia and mowing the lawn at the same time. And to Psycho. So Psycho's been very quick in this car throughout the series, landing fastest lap in the first few rounds. So it was very unfortunate for him not to actually finish strongly in some of the races. He ended up being in a few incidents that saw him have to end up spending quite a fair bit of time in the pits, so finished towards back of the field. So he's been averaging about 20 points per race. So current statistics showing Rennie 9915 being our strongest average points earner. So earning 59 points per race on average. So then followed by that is Sweatridge with 45 points, and then Gallon 350 with 41 points. So when they are seeing Sweatridge, Gallon, Rooney, Angrolfil and Terex up in the top 5, there could be anyone to yet take the series lead. Over to Matteo. So Matteo's been doing quite well through the series as well, so he's also been involved in a couple of incidents that put him towards the back of the field in a couple of races. Over to 30, 10:35 as well. newer one to the series. So, last race at Long Beach, Bertie looked like he may have had issues with the sprint race. Yes, he only just joined in for the second round last week, so Bertie is very late to the series. He did finish in 12th position for the main race last week. There was some great driving seen by Bertie throughout that night. So he was doing very well considering not getting as much practice in as the other drivers. So Nosy Blue is currently sitting ninth in the championship, so it's very close for points in the midfield of the ladder. So we have Aussie Chopper, Davo Dozer, Mersey Blue and Psychogency all sitting around within 10 points of each other. So the potential for those guys to move up. Oh, Mersey going off hitting that ripple strip. It's quite a large ripple strip there, so almost sending that car up onto two wheels. So Psycho off track there. Get it back on. Narrowly avoiding, look like Davo Dozer or Mersey. Yes, Davo Dozer. As a Ninja there showing a bit of scrubbing to that front right of the car. So As a Ninja has been doing some blistering fast laps. I saw him Long Beach Street Circuit and also Rapuna Park as well, doing some amazing driving. So last week, great battle between T-Rex and As a Ninja. There was not much between them in the long run between the two races. It just came down to seconds beside the position, so it was really exciting to watch them to try and finish that race. So try our series leader. So sitting at 205.197, so very close to Rooney's time. It's less than a half second between the two. So just under 4 minutes remaining of the practice session. Most drivers out on the field. We're even bringing the car into the pits. So we even finished 7th in the main race last week and 5th in the sprint race. He was a little bit later starting the series, I believe, as well, so sitting at 111 points, so doing quite well for a late entry to the series. So who else we haven't had it? So Darksider just joined us for tonight as well. Used to race with Darksider quite a few years ago. And some other series, not ones that I was running, but it's good to see him get back on board into some series with us. Setting a nice time of 206.529. The Sweat Ridge now taking the fastest time, 204.622, only 0.017 in front of Rooney, so very quick. With Rooney and T-Rex being our fastest lap being set for the last round. So they do score an extra 5 points for setting fastest lap in the race. So Angry Old Fella is sitting at 4th on the championship with 213 points, but it's not that far behind with big points up for next round. So it's double the points of the main race in the 2 race rounds. So big points, so it's a much longer race. We just have the 1 race next week at Bathurst, so it'll be an endurance race for the drivers. Spinning out there, no damage luckily to Angry. Child's Play, we haven't checked out Child's Play, see how he's doing, so he's doing well. 206.419. Only 2 seconds difference between the first 7 drivers. So it's going to be very close from the start of the race if they're going to be keeping up like this. Hello, Slappy Kiwi. Thanks for joining us. We've had someone drop out, and it looks like it's gallon 350. So he's having connection troubles at the moment. Practice now complete, so drivers doing their last laps. 126 seconds remaining for them to finish up their last lap. Hopefully Gallon can rejoin us in a moment. As a Ninja showing a significant amount of damage to the front of that car. Yes, this is on PS4. If you've got PS4 and want to join in on any of our racing series, we've got a Facebook page, so it's Apex eSports League. Head over to the group and join in and get involved in some of our racing. At the moment we're also doing an RSO1 trophy series. That's on Tuesday nights. It's not broadcast, but definitely get involved. Bertie sliding out there, bringing it in. Aussie Chopper yet to put a time on the board at the moment. Yes, so if you go to facebook.com/groups/Apex eSports League, you'll find our group. Apply to join there and I'll approve your membership and you can get involved in our racing series. So I am currently racing in the Tuesday series, so we're not broadcasting it. We were broadcasting a GT series just recently. It just finished up last week. And then we're available for all skill levels as well, so happy to have anyone come aboard and join in. All our drivers are very friendly and very helpful, so Gallon's just rejoined the session, so he's just gotten back in. So very impressive times being set there, so 2 minutes 4.622 being the quickest time. So very hot behind there. Even Corby 387, so our new entry to the series tonight. So the first 3 only 0.170 of a second difference, so very impressive. So heading over into qualifying now. So the drivers have got 15 minutes to do qualifying. The very important drivers try and get a good position for the qualifying, as they do achieve points towards the championship for their position. Nice purr of that V8 as he screams past over the crest there. A little bit of slip there by Terex as he exits that corner. So game session time is now 10 o'clock and weather has changed. Actually no, it'll progress, so forecast is medium cloud to clear, so we slightly increased track temperatures, but towards the end of the session it'll be a little bit warmer on that track, so they should be getting a little bit more grip onto those tyres and be able to set a quicker time. So hopefully we do get that 2 minutes free that I'm hoping to expect to be able to see from our quick ones. We've just got under 80 members in our group at the moment. So a lot of our drivers are very helpful with any newcomers. So they're always sharing setups and talking about what they can do to get more out of the car, and then usually do a lot of practice sessions throughout different times. And then usually after our races on Tuesday and Thursday night, they usually hang around and practice for the next week's sessions. So it's really helpful. So if you're wanting to get into sim racing, it's a good idea to do. And we'll jump on board for Sweat Ridge. So Angry Old Fella's had his lap timing validated. Did see an invite come through, so I can't approve it just right now, as it will affect my broadcast remote. So I'll get onto it after the series tonight, and you can get involved, see all our events. See what speed we're getting out of these cars. So good couple of fast straights, fair few fast corners. Gallen having connection issues, he is back in, so full grid again. Gallen doesn't want to miss out, so sitting second, and he's only 15 points away approximately from Sweat Ridge, so sitting second on the ladder. So he definitely needs to be able to get in and at least set a time in the qualifying session to get some points. And then also to be in a strong competitive position to start from the grid for that sprint race. Yep, that's it. That's the name I saw. I just didn't want to say your name out over the broadcast for you. A little bit broad there, going around. Setting a 204.955, so second straight along here, so he's reaching probably up to 274. Yep, before hitting those brakes heavy on, still trail brake through that apex, through the hairpin. So he's 0.2 of a second beating his current time, and he's had a couple of slips. So very quick. Heavy onto the foot. It's feathering it through this corner. It's a fast corner, but if you do put too much throttle on there, that car will just go into a full spin. You don't want to go too soon on that apex through that corner. It's a very long corner. So he's just improved his current time by another 100 for the second there. Cheers, no worries, Kimmy. Very quick there, so 204.558. As a Ninja coming in second at the moment, 25.607, so a second slower than Sweat Ridge. Psycho just having an incident there, but the looks of it. We've got 4 drivers yet to set a time. So Corby now setting his time. As a Ninja bringing that car back in. So Gallen has done well. Oh, getting broad. Oh, he's going to make wall contact almost. Needs to keep that car out there. 7 minutes remaining. So third is a nice position for him to sit there and try and maintain that. But Sweat Ridge currently taking pole, having that points advantage in the qualifying over Gallen. So there'll be a lot of heavy competition between Gallen and Sweat Ridge at the moment. I don't have F1 2020 yet. That's something that we may possibly be doing. So we also be getting into iRacing if you're doing PS4 as well. We'll be looking at doing a set of course competition once they have done the public lobbies update and it's all running nice and smooth. So Bertie just dodging out of the way there for Gallen. So good sportsmanship there by Bertie, moving out of the way for Gallen there. So 207, very decent time being set there. So Rooney not yet to set a time. Weaving out there, showing some significant damage throughout that car. Doesn't seem to be showing any control issues there. Oh, looks like Psycho's just made contact with the wall back there. What is it? What, possibly Weaving. Yes, it's Weaving making contact in the background there. Significant damage done to that car. So going off track there. Would have invalidated his time. I'm not getting an accurate race feed, I don't think, at the moment. I think it's still stuck on the last practice session. Does tend to happen with project cars too, unfortunately, once you're in the race director mode. No, iStreet Racing's not on PS4, just PC. So we're branching out onto multi-platforms. Yeah, most of our new release games tend to be around $110 Australian, so it's about on par. The Angry Old Fella just taking second now, so T-Rex sitting in third, as in Ninja in fourth. Gallon's now being pushed down to fifth position, so Gallon will be needing to try and get a real hot lap in these last 4 minutes of the qualifying session. So Sweatridge looking quite good for a bit of a points lead out of this qualifying session. So if he can maintain that throughout the sprint race, he could be securing himself a nice little gap between first and second on the standings. So Rooney now back out on track. He needs to try and set a lap, so with current lap averages around 209, he needs to get this pit exit lap, which won't count for him. Get those tyres up real hot and then go for a perfect lap just before this session finishes. And we can try and get an opportunity to move up that board a little bit more and secure some higher points. So here he is for his hot lap. We did set our fastest race time in the main race last round and finished third, so let's see if he can do it. Gallon showing some damage there. I don't think he'll be there. We're not getting sector times. Just only 2 minutes remaining of qualifying. I think Sweatridge may be safe in pole at the moment. He's got almost half a second difference between second place. T-Rex now bringing the car in, so it's hitting in fourth position. Well done to T-Rex. Midfield, we've got Darksider, Charles Flame and Weaven currently, all within a second of each other there. Yes, Nürburgring, very nice track to drive. So we had that as our final last week, Tuesday. So we were doing broadcast series of GTEs. And then we simulated a 90-minute race to be a 24-hour time frame. So we got to see the nighttime go through. The Lotus is a beautiful car to fang around. So currently really enjoying the RSO1 trophy car. Very nice car to drive. We did that at Algarve on Tuesday night. It was a lot of fun to drive. Of course, one of my favourites is the V8 Supercars, and then Bathurst being my favourite track. And knowing the track like the back of my hand, done many laps around that track. But one of my all-time favourite cars on Project Cars 2 is actually Formula Rookie. So a lot of fun, that car, and you can do a lot of customising to it. So you learn a lot about custom setups and how they actually do affect the cars, and then you can use that on any other car models. So some cars are quite limited to what you can do, where you can do a fair bit with those cars and you notice significant difference by it. Yeah, good way to try and do it is smooth is fast, so just practicing no slippage, traction control not having to come on. So if you can drive that car without the traction control, you don't lose as much speed coming out of the corner. Yes, Corby taking pole. Nice sneak in there by Corby. So our new entry for tonight. So taking the lead off Sweat right at race complete for qualifying session. The Gallon has now been pushed down to 9th position now, so not looking good for his second place position. Go Corby. It'll be exciting to see what he's going to give us tonight. Rooney finishing his fast lap. Can he improve? It looks like brilliant session there. So Corby taking pole away from Sweatridge on the last lap in qualifying. So very great driving on that last lap there. Obviously had a golden lap to set that through. So 204.216. So it'll be interesting to see if he can then also secure the bonus points for the fastest lap in the sprint race. So Sweatridge pushed down to second position. Rooney starting from third, and then fourth is As a Ninja. So very close times throughout the field from the looks of things as well. So I'm just scrolling down. You can probably see it all on your screens. So 6 seconds only separating the field. So it's very close between the field for Sector 3. So possibilities for improvement in third sectors, and then probably see a lot of moves done in Sector 1 as there's more of a difference in time there. So we've got a few seconds of difference there. So heading over into the race. So we will have a little bit of time in between as drivers will be sitting at their race ready screen. So changing their setups from any custom setups that they had for their qualifying session, ensuring they got the correct amount of fuel for the race. So Corby starting from the outside. That is first corner after the fast pit straight. So there is the longest straight of the track. He's going to have to try and get a good start here. Try and dominate that first position on the driving line. As if Sweatridge gets him there and then gets that inside line, he's going to have to try and find a safe position to try and tuck back in and hopefully not lose too many spots. Hopefully we don't lose any drivers at the start, as if drivers don't hit the ready before the countdown finishes, they do actually get disqualified and start in the pits. Yeah, Bathurst are usually set, I think 206 in the V8s from memory. So here we go, so drivers are now ready. Just have to wait to sync. The light's getting ready to go green. Oh, Sweatridge is nudging forward. He's trying to get that jump on Corby. And green. Oh, they don't want to get a jump. There will be a drive-through penalty if they do jump it at the start. So Corby not getting away, so Sweatridge nudging that car forward and getting that advantage. 2 by 2, almost free by coming into that corner. Sweatridge getting in on that inside line, so Corby losing a dominating driving position on that line. And Sweatridge starting to try and get away. Corby needs to try and tuck back in behind Sweatridge, get onto a nice strong position for that next corner. So it looks like a clean getaway for the start of the race so far, so very nice. Oh, Corby going out wide there onto the ripple strip, that's just cost him another position. Rooney now just tucking in, but it was a very safe move to get that car back in. Oh, Sweatridge hitting that curb, putting on the throttle, losing a position to Rooney, and now drop back. Rooney also putting a couple of wheels off the track there, losing a bit of time. Pushing these cars to the limit just in the first half a lap. So it looks like Angry's gone off track there. He's re-entered back safely. Looks like he's struggling at the moment. He has a Ninja right on his tail. Followed by T-Rex as well. So as a Ninja and T-Rex last round battled for position throughout the races. Angry going off track again. Rooney running wide there, quickly getting back on track just in front of Sweatridge. I am not getting a correct race feed from the game, so I can't see fastest sector times, so can't see what they're doing at the moment, where they can make up time. Sweatridge, Rooney and Corby, not much between them, and Child's Play also coming up. So Corby looking to make an inside move there. Rooney goes off, so Corby's now back into second position. Oh, contact there by Rooney and Child's Play. Significant damage to both cars. The drivers are going to have to wait to try and get the car safely back on. So Child's Play showing some significant damage to that front left wheel. Going to look like a hard limp home back into the pits for him. Rooney also just making a slight nudge there to Darksider. The Sweatridge and Corby now able to get a 3-second lead on the rest of the field. Disastrous there for Rooney, that front bar. He's definitely struggling with that car, cutting across again there. Understeer there, nicking back into Child's Play again. He's going to struggle to get that car back. He's only just through sector 1, so someone's gone off there as well. It looks like T-Rex. There's significant damage there by T-Rex. He did say he may have connection troubles. So Gallen taking damage early on in the race. He's currently in the pits. Midfield there, Psycho going wide there. Oh, hard contact there by Psycho into that wall. Doesn't look like he's damaged the wheel, but significant panel damage to the right side of that car. Narrowly avoiding Aussie Chopper as he just snuck past. Also going broad in that same corner. We've seen several cars go out wide on that corner there. The Aussie Chopper now moved up into 7th position. Rooney still struggling with that car at the moment. So much damage to that car. Unfortunate after a good start to Rooney there. So Davo Dozer closing in on Child's Play. Child's Play darts off, so does Rooney into the pits. They'll be in there for a lengthy time, so replay will need to be checked tomorrow and see what happened there as to what caused that incident. Whether a risky move was taken on that corner. The drivers could see possibly a penalty if that is the case. So as a Ninja looking to pass Angry there, almost going to make a move but having to back off on that throttle, narrowly avoiding that rear left wheel of Angry there. Really make a move. So Sweatridge currently increasing his lead on Corby to almost 2 seconds now. So Angry 4 seconds behind the race leader. Can we see sector times? No, we're not getting sector times. So fastest lap so far is being set by Sweatridge, 2:07.192. Unfortunately, we can't get the sector times at the moment. Darkside are closing in on Psycho. So, head back over to As a Ninja, who's been patiently trying to find a position for opportunity to get past Angry, but Angry's getting away on the straight there, so much quicker. So Gallon has dropped out. So it looks like we've lost Bertie as well, so 15. Gallon's showing us driving, so Gallon's saying, can you get back in? So he must have been sending messages while he was in the pits. Yeah, so Birdie has dropped out, having technical issues. So Corby slipping behind from Sweatridge. So Sweatridge has done this in the other rounds as well. He's quite good at putting a good safety net of time behind the other drivers. He gets away quite quick. We did almost jinx him a couple rounds back because he was so far ahead, and then everyone watching assumed he would probably bin it on the last corner, and he did actually slide out in the last corner, but he did recover and managed to still finish the race. So As a Ninja, still not being able to climb in too close behind Angry. Angry's keeping him at bay. Not having to make any defensive moves, just keeping that same pace at the moment. So, very on par. So their fastest laps, 0.3 of a second difference. So, not much between them, but a nice tight line through there by Azza. Slightly early on that apex there. I think he was considering making a move, but there was a little bit of slip by Angry, so possibly made him hesitate as to whether it was a safe decision to pass just yet. So Mersey Blue and Aussie Chopper at the moment are closing in as well. Psycho and Darkside are too, very close, so Darkside are looking to get past Psycho. The Darkside are showing a bit of damage to the front of the car, so does Psycho. Holding that line. Darkside is sitting in tight, getting that draft from the car in front. Good night, mate. Thanks for joining in, and I'll approve your membership request after the stream tonight. So we'll look forward to seeing you on track. So Darkside will almost make him move there, or could have gone inside there, so Psycho slow through that corner. Darkside are not expecting him to be slow on that line, so a little bit of slip there as well by Psycho. feeling a bit of pressure, having Darksider breathing down on his neck and going off wide. That's going to cost him a second. Ended up bringing it back in and blocking Darksider. So Darksider's going to have to try and gauge just where Psycho is actually struggling and try and make a safe pass where he has that advantage. It's Gallons back in the pits. Not sure what's going on. I don't think he's having accidents from it. Back over to As a Ninja and Angry, who's currently battling for third position. So at the moment, close times between 8th to 10th. And then also 3rd and 4th. So the rest of the field starting to spread apart. But it is a long track. So lap 6, 4 laps remaining. Angry not giving an inch of space for As a Ninja to make a move. Just as he gets back on him. Oh, he's getting past him here. He's going to have the inside line, but had to pull that car up a little bit quicker. Angry giving him room on that driving line to take that inside line. Definitely he was quicker going through that corner than Angry. So you can join our Apex Esports League groups. So we are on Facebook. If you go to facebook.com/groups/Apex Esports League, you'll find our group. So you can join in there. It'll have all our events, all the details, how to get invited in on any sessions. So we haven't decided on what replaces the Thursday night broadcast series yet. So be sure to join our group, make some mentions of what we're thinking of doing. So we are considering doing European touring cars. So we have a variety of cars on track. So over to Sweatridge. He's climbing ahead, putting that lead on second place by 3.5 seconds now. With 4 laps to go, if he can continue this current pace, get that car around cleanly, it'll definitely be a win for Sweatridge. So it is 10 laps for the sprint race, and then the second session is 17 laps. So for our events with the 2 races, we tend to usually have 15-minute practice, then a 15-minute qualifier. Then we aim for the sprint race to roughly go for around 25 minutes. And then we do have a short break in between, so we'll still be broadcasting, but it'll just be a right back screen as we all have a break and set up the next session. Then we've got 15-minute qualifying and then the main race, which is worth the big points for the drivers. T-Rex back of the field after doing quite nicely in qualifying and being a very strong driver. Having that accident causing significant damage, so it's put him quite a ways back, so I have to scroll down. So he is a lap down. As a Ninja slipped back a little bit now. So Matteo making a pass on Darksider. So Darksider showing some more damage than he did earlier, so he's made contact. Matteo dominated the driving line there, blocking Darksider. Darksider wanting to get back around, making an inside pass. Very nice pass there, just fitting in with an inch between the cars. Brilliant pass by Darksider. The Sweatridge fastest lap is 208.234. Corby sitting on a 208.311. Not much between him, but with only 3 laps to go, with close times like that, trying to regain 5 seconds lead with Sweat Ridge is not going to cut it unless Sweat Ridge makes a mistake. Rooney 9915 has recovered after that incident. For him and Child's Play, significant crash. So the car has been into the pits and been fixed. It is showing significant damage, but that is residual visual damage. The game doesn't refresh the look of the car after you've made suspension and aero repairs, except for putting back on spoilers and wings. So you'll see bent up and scrapes still on the car, and cracked windscreens as well, as we could see on Terex when we were just over with him recently. So Angry just being passed by As a Ninja. Just checking the time before, there was 1.5 seconds between them, so a mistake done by Angry costing him a position. 2 laps remaining. Can he cover that ground back up and try and make a move back on As a Ninja, sorry. So Weaven sitting quite comfortably in 5th position there, so he's got 7 seconds, sorry, from position behind. It's Mersey Blue, and then he's got 11 seconds before catching up to Angry. We'll jump on board with our race leader. Nice line through that corner. So risky corner here, so a blind crest. Alright, I was looking at the wrong spot. Where are we? So he's just started his new laps. The pit straight he is on. Nice fast corner. So that's where we're seeing a lot of cars have run off on that corner there. With many drivers struggling in the qualifying session. See what his last lap was before we go back in. So 2:08. So currently we've had Corby take fastest lap. So he's beaten it by almost a second. So easy through this corner. We want half throttle. So you can see the green bar on the speedo being the throttle control. So just using throttle control and engine braking for those corners. So heavy onto the brakes into here, a little bit of trail brake through the corner. A little bit of slip there. Angry and As a Ninja is back at it, so there was a gap between them. So Angry now fighting for that position back, coming up to the last lap. As they're getting away on the straight there. Bad line there by Az. It looked like he was trying to actually make a defensive move through that corner, thinking that Angry may have gone for a move on that inside line. Darksider and Psycho close behind. Matteo closely behind as well. The last lap, white flags being waved. Corby has decreased that lead from 5 seconds down to 3 seconds. May not be enough to catch him, but if pressure is on Sweatridge and makes that mistake on that final lap, that could see Corby make a move and get the lead of that race again. Oh no, as a ninja, losing it there. A little bit of slip as he puts that throttle down. Will he lose 2 positions? And it looks like it's a back marker there. So is that Matteo? Yes, it's Matteo. So Matteo's in 8th. He'd be given black flag as in, not black flag, blue flag. So as a ninja, not be impressed there. Angry will be very happy with that now. Putting a barrier between the other driver, but lost that ground there. Oh, I was gonna make a move there. So race complete. Sweatridge has won the race. Oh, wall contact there at the end by Angry. Bring it back on, get that car across the line. Just finishes it. That was very lucky there for Angry. So Corby decreased that lead on Sweatridge by 5 seconds in those last 2 laps down to 2. So very well done there. So brilliant driving. The last laps for the rest of the drivers. So Matteo, Psycho and Darkside are all close here. Oh, Psycho has spun out on the... Can he bring it back around time? Almost narrowly avoiding Gallon. So bringing that car back around, spinning out on the final straight. Unfortunate there for Psycho. So a couple of drivers dropping out. 50 seconds remaining. Sure, who is still racing? Not sure if AI has taken over Dave or not. Bring up map. So Aussie Chopper's just disconnected. Yes, I think the next race should be good. So a lot of strong competition across the field. So Sweatridge taking the win. So getting away on Corby at the start and then putting that game. But if there was a few more laps left, I think Corby would have actually had Sweatridge. So he had an extra second on him each lap in those last laps. So another 5 laps could have seen Corby making a move on Sweatridge and taking that race win away from him. So look out for these two in the next session. So also on the podium is As a Ninja. So fastest lap end up going to Corby still with a 2:06.896, so very quick lap time. So well done to the rest of the field there as well. So a couple of bad unfortunate incidents there with Rooney and making that strong contact with Child's Play. So drivers will be heading off into a brief period to have a break while we set up for the next session, and then we'll be back for qualifying. They'll have another 15-minute qualifying session and then into the main race, which will be 17 laps. So don't go away, hang around, and we'll be back very soon. So we are back for the second session for tonight at round 4. So we're at Road America with the V8 Supercars. So the map is just loading up at the moment, so we'll be heading off into a qualifying session. So drivers will have 15 minutes. So now into the pits. So we'll give the drivers a moment just to get sorted. I'll have to adjust something on our broadcast. Very great race that we just saw. So very strong driving by our current series leader, Sweat Ridge. Corby, if he had those extra few laps, we're seeing Corby getting those tyres nice and hot. So he needs to be careful so he can receive a grid penalty if he does speed through the pits. So Corby showing us how it's done and stealing pole position in the last qualifying session. So stealing it away from Sweat Ridge on that last lap, just sneaking in. It was fantastic driving by Corby. But Sweat Ridge had him at the start of the race, so you may see some very strong battle for position for the lead of this race if it's anything like it was between him and Sweat Ridge. All going wide on that corner. Tyres not quite hot, so he's trying to get some heat into those tyres. So current conditions for the race, so weather is light cloud. Game time is midday, so higher track temperatures than we saw before, so we should see a little bit quicker time. So the race starts with weather being clear and then over into light cloud, and the game time will be 1 o'clock, so there will be some very fast laps at the start of the race, and they'll slowly drift off towards the end. We'll try and cover all our drivers. Start from the top, so Psycho. Seeing him spin out in that last race right at the finish line, not losing a position, luckily. Also seeing that happen to Angry as well. So opening cold laps, 2:29 by Angry. So being first out on the track. Over to Davo Dozer. Not much slip there, so he's gotten those tyres up the temp there, so car performing quite nicely at the moment. Three quarters of the way through his opening lap. Aussie Chopper now in a different car. He was in the blue Ford before, so he did have a dropout, so some issues getting back in. So Weaven has just had several lap times invalidated, so it looks like he may have just taken a dive. No, just big cut, so no opening lap for him. The Sweatridge coming in for 204.976. Opening laps there. We could possibly see a 203 for sure. Over to Bertie. Oh, going off there. Oh, also for Bertie, significant damage there. Unfortunate for him there. So that was Davo Dozer and Bertie both taking a dive into the wall. Mateo's opening lap at 2:10. So Terex having an unfortunate accident in that last race. Just saw him finish at the back of the field. Nice corner there by Terex. Darksider doing rather well in the last race. Oh, Gallon hitting that wall back there. That was a big broad slide and on the last straight as well. So unfortunate there. So 8 minutes for him now to get back out and try and get a lap in. So some bad luck there for Gallon tonight. And Rennie doing well with qualifying last session. And then taking a big dive and making significant contact with Child's Play. So a lot of damage between the two of them. Oh, losing it on that ripple strip. Heavy contact to the front. That car will not be good to set another timing, so you'll need to bring that back into the pits. Weaver now on his hot lap. A little bit of slip through that corner there. Flash of the lights. Nice crackle and pop there from a car nearby. Gallon's car showing a lot of damage. That was a hard hit. So smashed the glass up along the side there. So this is his pit out lap. So Corby taken pole position. The 24.855, so just scraping in again in front of Sweatridge. So scoring good qualifying points there, but slight disadvantage, as I mentioned at the start of the race before. He's on the outside there, so if he doesn't get the jump, he doesn't dominate the driving line through the corner, so he will have to give way to Sweatridge or whoever is in second if they get the jump on him. Very important if he is to keep pole position, but he does get away very quick and very cleanly. So both of those drivers nudging it forward at the start of that race, very close to a possible driver penalty for a jump start. So Corby getting extra heat into them tyres, so he's not done yet. He's using this lap just to push that car that little bit more that next lap. And look out, we may see another quicker time set by Corby here. He's definitely focused to try and take the win for this next race. So Terex just squeezing into second position. Beautiful lap time there. For our first three. A 100th of a second difference between the three. It is very tight. Darksider sitting at fourth. He's heading to the pits. So only half a second difference. to child's play, having that unfortunate accident with Rooney diving into his car, and it looked like it put him into the air from that contact. So unfortunately not giving them a strong finish for the race after that incident. Rooney yet to set a time. Looks like he's coming up to halfway through the lap. Yep. I'll say Gallen. It's a sweat read, a 204 flat. Almost breaking into a 203. I was definitely hoping to see a 203, so the 204 flat is phenomenal. Bringing that car in, very impressive at times, so almost a second difference. Didn't look like he took damage. He could have probably finished that lap, kept those tyres warm. So now he's coming back out with a cold set of tyres. Has to get them back up to temp again and then try and keep that lap, but I think it would be hard to try and beat his time at the moment. That it was very quick. It's a dark side of doing very well in qualifying this session. And new entries to tonight's round, doing very well indeed. A 4th to 5th position, not much between them, 0.025 of a second. Forget, if you are joining us here back again, be sure to cheer on your drivers, use any of those sound effects. There's various good sound effects for when they have a stack as well. Let us know who you think is going to win the race as well. Oh, Corby just setting a 204.020. So close. He is definitely trying to take that pole back off Sweat. They need to break the 203 to be able to do that. It is phenomenal. There is no time difference between them. Does not come down to much here. That is just a millimetre worth of distance on that track for a difference in that time. This race is going to be definitely a great race to see. Colby sneaking back out. He doesn't have much time, so there are 2-minute laps. 2 minutes remaining, so if he can get this lap in, get them tyres real hot, he may have a shot at breaking that 204 flat. Child's Play showing some damage there, so he's had an incident not too recently. So we were waiting on Rooney and Gallen to set their laps. So Rooney set his cold lap of 2:25. Gallen's made his way up into 7th position. Rooney just setting a 204.9, so now sitting 3rd for the start. Haven't checked out Angry for this qualifying session, so he did well last qualifying session. We did see a 205, 206 I think from him last session. A little bit off pace at the moment. He's doing a good lap at the moment. We could possibly see him break it. So have a quick look, see where he's at. Yes, he had a very bad last lap, 5 minutes. Something went wrong there. Ridge brought the cars in the pits, so 10 seconds remaining, then they'll have a short countdown. Corby's still out on track, he could take that pole away from Sweat Ridge. See where he is currently on the track. Aussie Chopper having some disconnect issues. Corby has 2 minutes to finish this lap, easily done. The Sweat Ridge on that last lap before bringing the pits, he did get his his lap time invalidated due to exceeding track limits. So he was pushing that car a little bit too much. Let's see if Corby can do what he did last session and take this lead away from Sweat Ridge on the last lap. He's doing brilliantly at the moment. Nice and fast, a little bit of drift through the corner there. That car is going flat out through those corners. He's going to do it. He's going to break a 203. He's 0.2 on his best time, which is 204.020. That will see him at a 203.8. Oh, we're getting broad there. He's pushing that car all the way to the ripple strip, using every inch of that track. Give a cheer to Corby if you're watching. I think he's done it. He's going to do it again. We're going to see the 203 that I wanted to see. Here he comes, final. It's going to be tight. He's done it, 203.918. He has done it again. Phenomenal driving by Corby. Last lap hero. What an outstanding lap. A 203. I was hoping to see that, and we did get to see it. So, race lap times, you saw him do last race 206. So I think we could see a 204, 205 definitely in the race. So it's going to be a very fast-paced race. So nothing between the first three drivers, less than a second. It is going to be tight, and they're all quick off the mark. So it'll be very interesting first corner. So look out for the start of that race. So only downside to Corby, as he did last time, he's in a bad position for the start. He's got to get that better jump off Sweat Ridge for him to be able to get that lead at the start of the race, and then perhaps if he keeps that driving up that he did at the end of the last race, we could see him actually put quite a lead at the start of the race. So hopefully we do see an amazing race. So we'll be heading over into the race at the moment. So drivers now adjusting their setups. So they get a couple of minutes to get ready. So we'll bring the map up so you can see. So it is that right hand turn. It is a fairly fast corner still, so they don't have to get on the brakes too much. Yeah, hopefully no jump starts. I was almost expecting Sweat Ridge to get it. He was creeping forward quite a fair bit at the start of that last race. And then Corby also started to nudge as well, as he's getting every little bit of movement out of that car as he could. They will see them have to serve a drive-through penalty if they do jump that start. It looks like the game is giving a correct race feed for me now, so hopefully we'll be able to see what's going on with sector times. As when it doesn't feed correctly, I can't see who's setting fast as each sector time. So we saw Sweat Ridge's car drop. That means he's hit ready. Oh, he's changed setups. Double checking everything. So we have lost Aussie Chopper, so not a full grid, so he had a disconnect. He was having issues last round as well. We saw him in a different car as well, so as it's joined, it's changed his car, so definitely some strange issues going off the game. Let us know who you think's gonna get it. So drivers are all hit ready. Doesn't look like anyone's dropped off. So they're nudging forward. Sweatridge is pushing the limits there. Countdown, green light now. Oh, probably might jump. He's almost lost it there. He went to jump just before. We've seen Bruni have to dive out of the way. Sweatridge climbing ahead at the start of the race. Strong race position for him at that start now. Oh, almost contact there with T-Rex, just narrowly doing it. And Rooney's dived off track there, re-entered. Oh, significant damage done there. Davo Dozer, who is in that car that's just gone off. As a ninja, significant damage. Davo Dozer also involved. Darksider involved. We saw Darksider flipping there. Debris all over the track. Disaster all around. There's not much left to his car there. Davo Dozer. Oh, almost contact there again. Both cars diverting around as a ninja. That's a long way back to limp that car back to the pits. An unfortunate start to the race for those guys there. So Sweatridge, second lead on Corby. So he has recovered quite well so far. Very unfortunate start. Feeling the pressure to try and get that start off Sweatridge. The angry old fella T-Rex and Child's Play here. Sitting very close. Child's Play right on the tail of Angry. And the thing that drivers have got to make sure... Oh, Child's Play making that pass there as Angry makes the mistake on that corner. When the drivers are sitting so close behind, they've got to make sure that they're taking into fact that latency issues. As the more latency for each driver, actually be seeing them slightly different to where you're seeing them. So it can subtly make contact and look like they've braked quite hard in front of you when they haven't, when it does catch up. So I'm not getting an updated race feed. It is stuck on qualifying, so we're not getting sector times. So Child's Play now catching up to T-Rex, looking to make a move. So Corby's taking the lead from Sweatridge. So Sweatridge making mistakes. He did have that second lead, but he's looking to make another pass. Corby did own the driving line there, so had right away. Oh, Sweatridge slipping there through that corner. As the ninjas in the pits. We'll see if Corby can stand the pressure of Sweatridge on his tail. He needs to be able to focus, keep that pace, and not let the pressure of seeing Sweatridge in his mirror put him off whatsoever. So he is starting to get away on Sweatridge. He's slowly getting away. Nice if I had some sector time data to go by. You could see just where these two drivers are different in their lap time. Opening lap at 2:13 by Corby. So 1.2 seconds difference. But considering he did have that bad start. Sweatridge did make quite a mistake. But Sweatridge currently with fastest lap, 2:07 flat. Corby sitting at 2:07.281. Angry Oldfellow for 2:07.199. So very quick time there by those three drivers. So Angry is second quicker than Terex, sitting in front of him at the moment in 4th position. So maybe seeing Angry making a move on him very quick. Yes, Corby's very quick. And at his current pace from that last race, if we only had 3 more laps, he would have been right there on the tail of Sweatridge, making that gain. Angry Oldfield going off what looked like a little bit of lag may have affected there. Sweatridge now 1.5 seconds falling behind Corby. Corby is getting away. I'll wait for the camera to catch up, so Weaven and Mersey Blue. It looks like Gallen and Rooney here, battling for 7th position. Rooney nearly putting that car into the wall. Looked like he had a heap of oversteer that just drove that car straight to the other side of the track. But Gallen looking to make that move. He was going too quick to make that inside line. Just getting back out in front of Weaven. Could have been disastrous re-entry there. But Corby has dropped back to 5th position, so he's taken damage. The Sweatridge now takes the lead back. Unfortunate there for Corby. That happened quickly. The Child's Play now in 2nd position and catching on Sweatridge. Have a look and see if there's been any contact marks. Sweatridge, see what happened to Corby. Did recover quite well to maintain a 5th position, so it is a mandatory pit. So pit strategy will come down to winning this race as well. You need to make those tyres last, so different tyre compounds will be used. Whenever drivers decide to do a quick stop and go in the pits, they do have that option. They isn't required to change tyres. They can just pull up, do nothing and then head off. So if that's part of their strategy, they can do that. So it's not decided yet. It's Angry showing some damage there. Rooney right on his tail. Angry right on the tail of Corby. Corby and Angry definitely would be having slightly slower speeds around here compared to Rooney. So Rooney definitely wanting to get past. Oh, gone off into the kitty litter, pulling up just before that tyre wall. Costly there for Angry. That's going to see him lose quite a fair few positions as he gets that back onto the track. Bertie now moves up to 4th position, closing in on Terex. Making a move on pit straight. So Corby's headed into the pits. So hopefully, with 12 laps remaining, he does not have to head that car back in and he can make those tyres last. I'm sure he can. Yes, unfortunately we missed it. There's a lot going on with all these cars at the moment. Trex showing a fair bit of damage there as well, so Rooney's car's looking very clean, so another opportunity to take a position here. He's going to have a speed advantage over these cars that have taken the aero damage. Definitely quicker than those other cars. Will Trex give that position up though? Nice move there by Rooney. So Corby, Angry and Mersey now all in the pits. Yes, a significant damage taken to Mersey there, so lots of repairs. Angry's getting out. So Rooney managed to get past Trex safely. So someone to look out for at the moment is Child's Play, so moving up the field very quickly. So catching up to Sweat Ridge quite fast. The Sweat Ridge last lap at 206.7, Child's Play at 207.7. Sweat Ridge, no, just finishing at lap at 209, so it's slightly slower. So passing Mersey Blue or Davo Dozer there. It's Mersey Blue. Gallen just past Bertie. Bertie not wanting to give it up, so Gallen running wide before. Also catching up on Terex, he's sporting that heavy aero damage to the front of the car. So Terex is going to need to try and consider whether heading into the pits yet, as it could definitely be costing him a couple of seconds per lap just by having that front bar damaged. Gallen looking to get past there. Oh, Bertie narrowly avoiding the rear of Terex. Almost locking it up. Oh, slight contact there for Gallen, puts him offline. Bertie looking to try and get past them. That front bar flapping about on Terex. Terex, from seeing him drive in other series, other rounds, he can handle this car quite well with damage. Manages to keep pace not too well, so Gallen and Bertie both swerving about there. Bit of impatience there, wanting to get past here. Oh, Bertie dove into the wall. Weaving coming up behind him. That's going to be costly for Bertie. So, the rest of the field starting to spread up. So, Trex and Gallen tightly behind each other. Rooney 10 seconds behind the leader, so 9 seconds to position 2 in front of him. So Gallen getting past Terex there, so definitely costly having that front bar damage on the straight. Will also lose a bit of downforce through those fast corners as well. On the Gallen there, so managing to climb back up. So he's trying to compete from second position in the standings from Sweat Ridge. The fastest lap so far, 208.003, set by Rooney. Running off a little bit there. That'll allow Child's Play to gain a quarter of a second in there. Weaven's got Bertie coming up on him. Child's Play starting to slip a little bit behind Sweat Ridge. She's starting to put that lead on them again. Dirty running wide back there. Trex still slipping back, so Weaven now catching him. Trex definitely have to consider bringing that car in this lap. So given they can get it through 10 laps on that last race with a set of tyres. No, he hasn't brought it in. You'd think he may have brought that car in. So Weaven will be catching up on him quite quickly here along this straight, especially in the draft of T-Rex. So some big gaps between the cars at the moment. So 2.5 seconds between first and second. Third and fourth is 10 seconds difference. And then 5 seconds separates him to T-Rex. So at the moment, T-Rex and Weaven, only cars looking to try and gain a position here. And T-Rex is battling through with that wounded car. Colby back out with fresh car. That is residual visual damage. Then Angry also taking significant damage and already being in the pits. So hopefully he has adjusted his strategy. Same with Mersey Blue and as the Ninja as well. So if they could have incorporated that stop as their stop for the race, they could see themselves gain up that loss while the other cars have to go in for their mandatory pit. So Weaven making a move on to Rex now. Gets past nicely, so on that straight. Rex losing positions quickly with that wounded car. Yes, there goes T-Rex, so he's bringing it into the pits now, so definitely needed to get that in. Did lose a few positions there because of the aero damage to that car. So T-Rex dropping positions now while he's in pits. Bertie's also has head into the pits. So halfway through the race now, lap 9. A little bit of slip there. Rooney still holding fastest lap time. We've had a few dropouts, down to 12 in the field. Like we've lost Psycho, lost Aussie Chopper. Looks like we've lost Darksider as well. Child's Play making his mandatory pit. Has no damage. So it'll just be a set of tyres and off he goes, I would assume. So Sweat Ridge opting to still stay out in the track. And it is manual pits for the drivers. So no tyres. He's doing a stop and go. He's away, but nothing is happening. What's going on with Child's Play? Bringing in that car as well. Gallen now taking the second. He does need to head into the pits. So Sweat Ridge currently 20-second lead, so if he has a good pit strategy, can make that pit stop nice and fast, he could still come back out and be in front. As it's not an overly long pit straight. So Davo Doze has left the session, so we did lose Davo off the field. He did take significant damage at the start of that race, so him, Psycho, I can't remember who else we saw there, that as a ninja, that's all involved in that huge stack at the start. So it looked like possible significant error that could have caused that incident. I think we may see Gallen try and opt to wait on Sweat Ridge to pit first, and he'll stay out for a lap. Seemed to be his strategy over the last few races. Yeah, the red number, I'm not sure what the red one is for. It does do that. You don't see on the stream when there is an exclamation mark. So when drivers are close to each other, I get an exclamation mark. I'm getting for Corby and Rooney at the moment. So in the team colours here. So it isn't a team championship. So Gallen though did end up heading into the pits. Corby, oh, some rubbing there as Rooney makes that pass on Corby. Corby not giving up. Looks like Corby's slipping a little bit behind there on that straight, so he still may have some damage to the panel work. Angry's just came out from his pit stop again, so he did head on in before. So at the moment, Weaven's now in second. I don't know if he's been into the pits or not. Nice flames shooting out from the side of the car there. So Sweat Ridge now heading into the pits. So he's got 20 seconds on second position at the moment. So as a ninja in behind Weaven there. So as a ninja is lapped down. Both heading into the pits. So Sweat Ridge making his way out, so he looks like he may get out of the pits in time. The Psycho's just had to leave the session. Aussie Chopper is disconnected. Child's Play getting ahead of Weaven and Gallant. So Sweet Ridge in and out and maintained his lead. So Child's Play 6 seconds behind, but I don't think he's been in the pits. Rooney doing quick, beating his fastest times. His fastest lap time. Gonna make a move on to Rex here. Oh, inside line there, dominates the position, just scrapes in front of Terex. Oh, unfortunate for Rooney, they're narrowly re-entering. Unfortunate there for Rooney. So angry old fella is slowly climbing back up the field. 4 seconds ahead is Corby to Angry. Oh, Terex going off wide there. We entered side by side, still holding pace. It's put Rooney offline. Slightly put him off his driving line for that corner. While we've got a brief through, we'll have a look and see if there's... Okay, yes, so the red colour over the marker of the driver's position number, it means they have a time penalty. So Birdie is a 10-second time penalty. So they will receive a time penalty for exceeding track limits. So if they do not slow down, they will get 1 or 2 seconds added to that. But that would have been from speeding in pit lane, so it's an instant 10-second penalty. And in tight races like these, 10 seconds can definitely cost you a position. So on our final race, on our last broadcast series for the GTE 24-Hour Masters Championship, we saw Curver make a move and gain a position. Well, I think he lost a position right at the end of the Nürburgring. So 90-minute endurance race. Both drivers just within less than a second of each other crossing the line, but a 10-second penalty saw him lose that position on the podium. Dirty and Matteo Tommaso at the moment catching up. Nosy Blue back in the pits and needing some tyres by the looks of things. Oh, near contact there. Matteo holding that position. Bertie looking for the inside move, going around Matteo. Nice move there, narrowly through. Wipers going. So Bertie had all hands on deck on that wheel, fighting that car through that corner. It was a brilliant pass there made by Bertie. Brilliant driving there. Trex moving back upfield now that he has a fixed car. We aren't seeing that, but he did head into the pits and get it fixed. So he was losing a lot of time. See if we can see what his last time was for Trex. He's now setting 208, fastest 207. So Rooney's still holding fastest lap time, 206.32. So last few laps of the race, Wetridge maintaining his lead from Child's Play by 6 seconds. So weather conditions now changing to light clouds, so track temps will slightly drop off a bit, so lap times will start to slow up a little. Is it better than iRacing? Yes and no. It's very different. iRacing does have a nice feel when you get your wheel set up quite nicely. I find you don't get as much feedback through the wheel. I use a Logitech G29. If you got the Fanatec gear, if you got the cash to drop it on all that, yes, it's probably a lot better. But the only difference with iRacing, unless you're in a league that's prepared to pay, because you've got to pay to actually run a race in a private session. So that deters a lot of people from doing it. As if I was to be hosting races for there, I'd be paying just to actually run the race. For Project Cars, that's not the case. And then when you do join the public lobbies for iRacing, you do actually only have races every hour. So it's not like you can just set it up for a time that you want and can just easily race. You can just do practice sessions, which are a lot of fun, but definitely a lot more variety on iRacing than what Project Cars has. So you've got your dirt track ovals and the likes as well, so which is a lot of fun. So Corby's getting angry. Old fella climbing up to start looking at making a move on him. 2 laps remaining. Sweatridge is on lap 15. Don't know if we can see Angry catching up on Corby. That damage would still be from previous incident that he had. Very unfortunate for him with such a strong lead at that race start when he did get it back from Sweatridge. So unfortunately, I don't think we'll see Corby have the opportunity for a podium in this race. Sweatridge getting away on Child's Play very quickly, so now 5.5 second gap. So very different lap times, so Child's Play is 0.6 of a second quicker, but only 2 laps remaining. It's not enough to gain that from 6 seconds behind, unless Sweatridge does make a mistake. Gallon would be feeling much better about this race, so having a lot of bad luck in that last race, having some technical issues with connecting into the session through the qualifying. So for Gallon not finishing too strongly in that first race, will unfortunately for him have Sweatridge taken advantage on that lead over him. Angry just getting past Corby there. So Corby struggling a little bit, so it is a much longer race, so a little bit of fatigue also to set in. So after this round, looks like we'll definitely have Sweat Ridge increasing his lead in the series championship. Oh, pressure there for Angry going off. As a Ninja recovering, not too bad. So we did see him at the back of the pack after that huge accident. There was not much left for his car, Psycho's car, or Davo's car. But Azza did hang around, didn't jump out of the session, flogged it through just to finish the race and just get that car home. It's the last lap. So he's halfway through the final lap now, so 4-second difference. So Sweat Ridge a little bit down on his lap there. Definitely struggling, so he looked like he didn't actually jump in and change tyres when we saw Sweat Ridge go into the pits. So he was trying to make that car last out the race on that one set of tyres. So you can definitely see those tyres are almost nothing, and Child's Play's just run off. Recovered that quickly, so it's not enough to be able to get that gain on Sweat Ridge. Especially with Sweat Ridge struggling with the car, that could have been an opportunity for Child's Play to catch up on him. But it's easy going now for Sweat Ridge. Not too much of the corners to have to worry about with quite bald tyres. He does have 5 seconds, so he can take it slightly easy. Yeah, there would not be much at all. You can see that rear of the car slipping. And these cars are so torquey as it is, even with hot grippy tyres. You put that throttle down that little bit too soon on there coming out of the corner. Flashing the lights, he's impressed with himself. Beautiful race, Sweat Ridge. Taking another win. Child's Play doing very well, taking second on the podium there for Child's Play. Gallon not too far behind, coming up on third. Rooney quickly approaching the finish line as well, taking fourth position. And here to Rex and Angry. Angry was looking to make a move there, not enough to be able to get that position. To Rex taking fifth, Angry taking sixth. Corby finishing seventh. Unfortunate for Corby after a brilliant recovery after that bit of a stall at the start. Weaving in at 8th, 13 at 9th. His penalty's not going to affect him here. There's a long distance between the cars behind, so he's got almost 30 seconds. So the penalty not affecting him. Happy to be seeing the finish line. Drivers would be exhausted after 17 laps around Road America. And 45 seconds remaining. Mateo as a Ninja and Mersey Blue to cross the line. An accident for the back of the field there. They were doing rather well at the start of that race. Well done, Mateo, finishing in 10th position. As a Ninja in that bashed and beaten Ford there. Looking much better than we did see it when he was involved in that incident. So here we are, end of round 4, race 2. Sweat Ridge takes the win. Also on the podium, Child's Play in 2nd position, Gallon in 3rd. Brilliant race, some brilliant driving by all. Fastest lap of the race goes to, looks like, Rooney. So we saw him take it originally with a 2:06. Then he improved that by 2:05. So very fast driving by Rooney in that last section of the race. So brilliant driving. So we head off into Bathurst for the next race. So that is next Thursday night, same time. It's just the one race. They'll have a slightly longer qualifying session. So we will definitely be seeing some strong contenders, especially at Bathurst. So home track for most of our drivers. So stay tuned. Be sure to hit our follow button on Twitch. We're also on YouTube, so since Twitch doesn't keep our broadcasts, we do put them over into YouTube to actually keep all records of our races. If you want to get in on the fun or just follow results and standings, you can head to our Facebook page. So we have the page facebook.com/Apex Esports League, and if you actually want to get involved in the races, you can join our groups. That's facebook.com/groups/Apex Esports League. So join our group there, get involved in on the racing. So we do have spots available for our race on this coming Tuesday night. So it also starts 7:15 for lobby open time. The race starts approximately 7:25 Australian Eastern Standard Time. So that is the RSO1 Trophy Series. So we've only just had round one this Tuesday gone. So still plenty of points up for grabs. So if you want to get involved, head on over to that. Otherwise, next broadcast next Thursday night. So thanks for tuning in, and see you next time. Sorry, Gitnitz, yes, I was racing Tuesday, so I am in there. So you'll see me JT1310 in there, but it's not broadcast, unfortunately.